everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of Doki Doki Literature Cast, or Doki Cast. This is an informational, fun podcast all about Doki Doki Literature Club, and let's be real, psychological horror visual novels in general. I'm very excited, and I know my two hosts are very excited as well. Gentlemen, are you excited?
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. Well, obviously, since this is the very first episode, we gotta introduce ourselves. Some of you may know us, some of you may not, but that's what new stuff is for. We introduce, we become best friends, we all share cookies, and it's gonna be great. So, to start off the introductions, Mason, why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself, tell me about you, your channel, and obviously the most important question, who is your favorite Doki?
Oh, all right. Let's get right into it. So, I am the owner of the channel Doki Doki Club. Used to be known as Doki Doki DDLC. My real name is Mason Johansson, and I would say I'm pretty. I don't want to say I'm new, but I'm also not old. I started playing Doki Doki officially on YouTube like right before DDLC Plus came out. So, what was that? That was in 2021, which is kind of funny. That was like right when I was a freshman in high school. So, yeah, those videos were not very good, but I'm still making videos to this day. And yeah, and to answer your question, what is my favorite Doki? If you watch the channel, you already know my answer. I'm going with Sayori. 100%.
Classic, good. I mean, let's be real, they're all classic answers. In fact, the only one that's not classic would be MC. But that's debatable if he's even a Doki, let's be real. Well, awesome.
And himself doesn't even credit him as a character.
That's true. That is very true. You know, that could be a podcast. It could be a debate podcast where we talk about if we think he is or he isn't. And that'd be a fun one. Okay, awesome. And also, just a quick FYI, our individual channels, all three of us will have channels in the description below. So be sure to go down there, click on those channels, and subscribe to everyone to see even more awesome content pumped out on all the channels. Thanks, Mason. Mark, what about you? Tell me about yourself.
So, my name is Mark. I go by either Mark Creations Studios, which is way too long to put into the title, or Tiresome Rhinox. Tiresome Rhinox is my current alt account on my Discord, as well as my alt account on my YouTube, because my primary one was taken down unfairly. Yeah, well, that's a long story, but I used to do stop motion animation with my Transformers action figures. But now I just do podcasts. This is the third podcast I've helped set up, and God help me. My favorite Doki is also Sayori.
Wow! Oh, wow! Two Sayoris. Spoiler alert. She's not my favorite.
How dare you? And the reason why I love Sayori is because I guess I'll get into it when I talk about my experience with the games, but she's basically just like me, basically. But anyway.
Well, awesome. Thank you, Mark. Also, this is the first time I've really noticed all the Transformers in your background, and I want to act like I'm not jealous, but I am also extremely jealous. I love Transformers. I used to have so many. Not quite as much anymore, but my gosh, that is a beautiful. Wow, it just keeps going. That is envy.
It does keep going, and this isn't even half of my collection.
There you go.
Half is in storage. Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mark. And that leaves me. My name is Tanner Kane, or Hulking Enigma. That is also my channel I have. I do a lot of horror content in general, a lot of DDLC. Actually, I have now 100 DDLC specific videos with my latest DDLC upload. And my experience with DDLC is probably the newest, not probably, it is, out of the three of us. I only started playing DDLC, 2 years ago? I think it was actually 2 years ago now. So when I first started doing YouTube, I was with a channel called The X Brethren. It's still around. You can still find a lot of those old videos. But I started focusing a lot more on horror content, and I was shooting a lot of horror content. And I had a friend who said, you really need to play DDLC. This is a great horror game. I actually knew nothing about it. I heard about it before. I remember it when it came out, and I remember people playing it, but I knew absolutely nothing about it. And so I streamed it, and there you go. It was, that's kind of how it goes. You can still see my original stream on YouTube. I have a The edited versions on my channel, as well as a completely unedited version. I will warn you now, the microphone on those videos is literally dumpster fire, so you've been warned. But you'll see all that. And yeah, my favorite Doki is not Sayori. It is actually Natsuki. She is my favorite. I found her character the most interesting, and I actually agreed. This is another thing we're talking about, little quotes from Dan. I wish there was more about her in the game. Like, I wish they could have developed her character a little bit more, because I think it would have been really, really interesting. But yes, she was my favorite. So there you go. That is us. That's the three of us. We are your hosts. You will see us every single episode. We're going to be pumping out. We will also have some special guests that join us every now and again. And when that happens, you better believe we're going to be putting them in the hot seat and making them spill their life story, or at least their DDLC story, whichever one they want to do. But we're all very excited. And so for this episode, we wanted to be very chill. We wanted to kind of talk about our experiences with DDLC, our expectations with the podcast, and kind of just chat and get to know, each other and you as well as the audience. In fact, to get to know you better, why don't you tell me right now in the comments what your favorite Doki is? We are reigniting the Doki Wars, and we're going to see who wins. My bet is probably not Natsuki, I'm going to be real honest. It's probably going to be it's probably going to be either Sayori or Yuri. That's my guess.
No, I'm thinking Monica. I see so many people in my comment section bringing Monica up.
Look, all I know is it's probably not going to be Natsuki. Although, guys, if you're a Natsuki fan, we got to rally together, man. We got to rally together and just take over. We got to do it. And we also have cupcakes.
I have a personal friend who really loves Natsuki, so I know he'll appreciate that. Hell yeah.
Heck yeah. Okay, gentlemen, well, let's jump into kind of our main segment, and this is where we're just going to kind of a little bit talk about our experiences with DDLC and everything like that. So, Mason, first question goes to you. What got you into DDLC?
I'm sure my answer is going to be nothing like anybody else's answer. Honestly, this seems like something out of like a cartoon. So, I was in 8th grade. This was like peak otaku anime phase. I was into everything. I was trying to, do all the things, watch all of the anime, including the obscure ones nobody knows, collecting like anime figures, even the knockoff ones because I couldn't afford real ones. I was like 13. And I got into anime games too. I remember I watched MV Perry. He made a couple DDLC videos. I think the one I specifically watched was like I think he mentioned Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, and then I saw his video like what Doki matches you or whatever it was. I saw that really put Doki Doki on the radar for me. And after that, I did a little bit of research. I found it on Steam. I didn't download it or anything. I literally just left it on like the Steam, like I don't even know what it was. Must have been like recently viewed. My cousin came over, went on my computer, and he was like, "Why don't you play the game? If you're so into anime, why don't you just go play the game?" And I started my YouTube channel like a month before that. So I was like, you know what, why not record it on YouTube? And that's what I did. I played it on YouTube, and it was definitely a lot. I was expecting it to be a scary game, but I was not expecting like all like the depression, sad, emotional stuff that came like towards the end of Act 1. I guess I should have brought up spoiler warning. I guess we'll put that in the edited version. But try not to go any further than that. Yeah, this game does take kind of not even just like a scary turn, but more of like an emotional, like sad turn. And I like really, I don't know, made it seem more just like a throwaway horror game, and actually like a game with soul and characters that you actually like enjoy. And that's my like early on experience with Doki Doki, how I got into it, and like kind of what I thought of it when I first started playing it. And ever since then, it has definitely shaped this channel. I've also branched off into a couple other, like, I don't know if I really want to say like horror games, but like visual novel games, or just like other silly anime games.
Awesome. I love it. I love the spoiler warning too. And we can actually do that now, even though the game is 8 years old. We now have a brand new audience being introduced to the game via the mobile port. So even now, spoiler warnings ahead, which I'm going to be real. If you're watching these podcasts, is there a chance of spoilers will drop here and now? So be warned. Obviously, you should just pause the video and go just finish the game. I don't know what you're doing. Anyways, I got a side question for you, Mason. What made you want to really just like push your channel, your YouTube channel, into a heavy DDLC focus? I know was it just your absolute love for the game? Was it all the unique stuff that is happening with the game, be it like the merch drops, all the crazy art, the crazy community? Like what made you really want to do it, dive headfirst into it with your channel?
That's a great question. There were a couple things that really enforced Doki Doki on the channel. I guess I should bring this up first. I originally made Bloons Tower Defense content. Like, that's all I did, and that was my favorite game at that time. I played it all the time. I have like 500 hours on that game on Steam. I played too much of it, but I did the Let's Play, and I did a couple of mod Let's Plays, and those videos really started to take off on YouTube, and that was like the biggest success I've seen on YouTube. So I kind of felt like I had to continue it. And there was just like so many things that there were to see. Like, I mean, first you got like obviously the Let's Play of the game. You got all the mods, which they're still making mods to this day. Go check them out. There's a lot of great ones out there still to this day. There's all like the subreddits, like r/DDLC, r/DDLC memes, which is kind of dying right now. So if you're into that, please check it out. Revive the subreddit. And obviously we can't forget the merchandise. That's like the #1 thing I talk about on this channel. I'm a bit, and yes, I was definitely obsessed with it when I was 14, bro. I was buying everything that they came out with, and that's like really got me into the YouTube thing with Doki Doki.
Awesome, that's really cool, man. I'm gonna be real. I'm jealous of the merchandise. I have very little merchandise. All my merchandise I have is right there, and like most of it's books, and everything else has nothing to do with horror games. So except maybe the SCP masks, but those are literally like made. Anyways, Mark, so same question with you. What got you into DDLC? Like, how did you hear about it? What hooked you? What part really just snagged you in and pulled you to it?
So, for me, I got into it, I believe, either December of 2017 or January, February of 2018. It was in the winter, and it had just come out. And I remember all these videos from GT Live, Game Grumps, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, Dawko, and all these big YouTubers just making videos about it. And it caught my attention, and I just decided to give it a try. I didn't know what was going to happen. I wasn't a big anime guy at the time. I don't quite remember my initial experience before the big things started happening. And I do remember that I really bonded with specifically Sayori. So you can guess that certain events that transpired really affected me psychologically. And it actually made me hate Monica for a couple of years, but we'll do a whole Monica podcast someday. But I fell in love with the game, and I mean, it wasn't on Steam. This was before it was on Steam. But I 100%ed it by getting all the poems and trying to get all the different endings and everything like that, all the special poems. I remember meeting, and I don't remember when, but it was very quickly after I became a fan. I met Fathom. Now, if you guys don't know who Fathom is, he made one of the very first Doki Doki mods called A Brand New Day. And he and I became great friends. And he kind of introduced me to anime in general. Turns out, just like me, he's a huge Transformers fan. So we bonded very well with that as well. Anyways, back to Doki Doki. Now, I think about a year in, and I don't think I've told anybody about this. I haven't talked about this in years. I started making a mod, but I never finished it. And I would like to one day. And some people might hear about this and remember, because I had a whole server dedicated to it. I had a whole icon for it. I had a whole like a outline written down, and I lost all of my files, and that's why I quit working on it. But it was called Doki Doki Lament and Recovery, and it was supposed to be when a certain character, when something happens, instead of okay, well, you know what? There's I'll talk about that in this other section, but I'm trying to think, should I talk about it? Because
I mean, I say, look, we can take it now. Slap a big spoiler warning on the screen at the moment. This is your warning. If you don't want to be spoiled, if you haven't finished your playthrough, obviously go finish it now. If you don't care about spoilers, you can keep going. If not, we'll try to slap a timestamp on the video as well. You can skip forward to avoid being spoiled. But you go ahead, man. I say you go ahead and talk about it.
all right. So when Sayori dies, the game resets. My mod was going to be, what if the game didn't reset and something happened? And Monica was unable to reset the game. And the MC and all the Dokis had to deal with Sayori's death. And then Monica kind of starts to go crazy. Because she knows she's in the game, but she can't control the game anymore. Because she lost her admin privileges given by Metaverse, or something. And anyway, it was gonna be a whole thing where MC would find out that Monica was involved in basically tampering with Sayori, and I remember when I very first came up with the idea, it was going to be a revenge plot, but then I very quickly turned away from that when I realized that the Doki Doki community wouldn't like a revenge plot. And then there was a certain mod that I'm not going to name that came out that was about killing all the Dokis, and it was very controversial. And I was just like, I'm not even gonna go close to that. So I decided to do they would forgive Monica, but it would be really hard. It would be very touching, and they would obviously have missed the festival. I'm going really deep into this. I'm sorry. This is the first time I've ever done
I love
this.
it.
This is the first time I've ever talked about this openly. But they would have done the festival the year after because they missed the one with Sayori. But anyway, it would have been a great mod, and I might still one day work on that if there's enough mod makers out there that know Renpai, because I really want to work on off of the original and not Plus, if possible. Nothing against Plus, but yeah, it would just be easier for me.
Oh, definitely.
Anyway, it would be so cool if we had enough people and people could actually help me out with that mod, because I don't know anything about coding or anything like that. So, yeah, I remember MC would have nightmares every night. He would have what are they called when you wake up and you can't move? What's that called?
Sleep paralysis?
Sleep paralysis, yeah. And I remember specifically showing a teaser of just his room, but very black, and you see Sayori just standing in his doorway, and her eyes are ever so slightly dim. And I remember being really proud of that. But anyway, that's my story of Doki Doki. Because once I lost all those files, I kind of fell off of the game until Plus, and then a whole bunch of new players came in, and then I got into it again. I completed Plus. And yeah, and then earlier this year, no, later on last year, because it's only been a week or two of this year so far. A couple of weeks ago, I introduced my friend to Doki Doki, and that reinvigorated my interest in the series. So and now here we are.
Yeah, and here we
I was
are.
very wrong. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. Hey, and because of that, I mean, Mark is the one who brought all of us together and with the original idea to do this. So, hey, that whole story, that whole instance, like all led to this. And one day, if you ever do get your mod created, I know I'll play it. I'm sure a lot of people will. I know that a lot of mod makers watch Mason. I know he mentioned in one of his videos. So I'm sure there's people out there who would definitely give you a hand if needed.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Well,
All right,
awesome.
Tanner. Let's hear your story.
Yeah, let's go. Well, you kind of heard a bit of it when I first did a little introduction. I was told to play the game. I was told to play the game by a few people, actually, especially when I started doing more horror content. They're like, you really need to play this game. This game is great. It's an awesome psychological horror game. And I'm going to be real honest. When I first saw it, I was just like, okay. And I'm like, we'll see. And then I planned on playing it, but I wasn't like, like, okay, let's go do it. Let's go do it. I was doing other games, playing other games. And when all of a sudden, one day on the Epic Game Store, actually, the DDLC Plus became free. And I'm like, well, I guess that's my sign. I should get this version and I should play it. So I got DDLC Plus. I started playing it and it kind of just went from there. I really enjoyed going through it. I ended up streaming and 100%ing the entire game just because I wanted to. I also ended up getting the game on Steam just because I wanted the achievements. Do I have a problem? Yes, but you know what? I'm okay with it. But yeah, so I ended up getting all the achievements, and what really kind of hooked me more into it was more the horror aspect. The story was great, don't get me wrong, but all those horror things, things breaking down, all the weird stuff that could happen during one playthrough but not during another playthrough is what really hooked me. And in fact, that's what really kind of helped with my channel as well, and why I kind of stuck with the DDLC content was because I had a friend. He was like, "You should talk about like all the weird stuff that happens, like all these weird elements that sometimes happen. Sometimes these Easter eggs." These one-time events, and I started doing the Doki Doki Did You Knows, and that kind of really started snowballing my channel into people really starting to see it, and that's what I really loved. In fact, one of my favorite ones I've ever done to this day was I was playing the game. And you can actually still see this. I have an original short of me first noticing it, and you can also see it in the video. I noticed in DDLC Plus, if you pause the game during the first act and save when Monica is on screen, and I think it's only certain sprites work, but when Monica's on screen in certain positions and she's smiling, if you save the game and check the thumbnail of where you saved it, she is no longer smiling. She is frowning at the fact that you're potentially leaving the game. And when I looked this up, I couldn't find it anywhere. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody was doing anything. And so I made the short, like a Did You Know short on it. And to this day, people are still finding that for the first time and thinking that it's not real. And I'm like, no, it's totally legit.
I remember reading it on the wiki because I'm assuming it was put on there after you found it.
I had one of
the wiki. I was like, oh my god, I never noticed.
Yeah, one of the wiki editors actually commented on the video. One of the guys who originally did the data mining for the game commented on the video talking about it and going trying it himself and realizing, and it was a really cool thing. And that's what really kind of got me into the game and kept me going. And of course, the community, meeting new people, and people just being still interested in it, and people becoming interested in it has just kind of kept it going along the way.
Nice.
Okay, well that's awesome hearing kind of the how it all began for both of you. I think now let's talk about this podcast. Let's talk about what you kind of want to get out of this podcast. What you're most excited about, what you're most interested in talking about, where you want to see this podcast going, whatever it is. Let's just kind of talk a little bit about that. And so Mason, the floor is yours again. The mic is yours. What do you want to see with this podcast? What do you want to get out of it?
All right. So first I wanted to bring up that Mark is the one behind all of this. He's the one who reached out to me, emailed me, and he's the one who invited me on the show. So big shout out to him.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for this opportunity. And I've always wanted to do like a large scale collaboration, or even just a small, like where someone goes on a Discord call and we react to YouTube videos of Doki Doki. But I never really thought that would happen because I thought this game was kind of like you know, it ran its course. Nobody's really talking about it anymore, and all of the YouTubers who talk about it are just like faceless, voiceless mod Let's Play YouTubers. And I kind of felt like I had to just be to myself. So really, with this having this podcast, this show here, I really want to, you know, one inform all the viewers, all of you guys, just about, you know, Easter eggs, hidden things, and big deep dives on just literally anything about the game, just because that stuff is interesting. I think we're all interested in it, and if you're watching this, you probably are too. So I really am glad to see that coming to fruition. But also just love like socializing and just talking to others about this game, because I mean, don't really have too many other people in my life who really talk about anime, and especially anime games. Like people, all my family, parents, family, friends, I think like YouTube is some like foreign concept. Like when I told them I was actually earning money from YouTube, they were like, "How is that possible?" Like I don't know. I guess I don't understand it, but it's just nice having a community to talk about this great game with.
I love it. I love it. What about you, Mark?
What I am the most excited for is um talking about the different days and delving into the nitty gritty of every line, because something I forgot to mention is a therapist named Iro Brady, I believe is his name. He recently started playing the game, and he's still playing it now. You should go check him out, viewer. I'm sorry. I just embarrassed myself. Brain freeze.
It's all right.
Here, yeah. 1 second. Let me gather my thoughts.
You're all good, man.
It's a good thing that it's framing. Goddamn. Um. And he's been doing analysis, stuff on like all of the girls, and he like predicted that Sarah was depressed like day one. He depicted spoiler alert. He depicted like all these characters' problems and everything like that. And it really made me want to do that myself with a couple of friends like you guys. And I'm really excited to do that. I'm also excited to react to videos as well. Once you run out of DDLC content in the game, so that'd be great.
Definitely. That's both very exciting. I know I'm excited for all of that. Diving into the like personally the Easter eggs, the lore dives, like you said, Mason. Kind of all the fun little special events, picking things apart, as well as just seeing what the future holds for DDLC and Team Salvato in general. But I'm also super excited about bringing on our special guests, be it mod makers, artists, be it other YouTubers as well. And also one thing I'm excited about, because like we all know, there's only so much DDLC content we can do. And a few of you even said that in the comments. We know that. And that's why one of my favorite segments we're going to eventually start doing is talking about Doki-like games. So finding some psychological horror games with girls that try to either kill you or are crazy or just, you know what, just need help. All of those type things, and just kind of talking about those as well. I know like Mason's played things on Me Side, and I've checked out Me Side as well. And there's so many other games like Slay the Princess, like You, Me, and Her, like really good games that can give you the same feelings, or even different feelings, but are just as good as DDLC did. And I want to bring all that to light. One of my favorite things in the world is whenever I make a video talking about content is have somebody saying, I didn't realize that, or I didn't know that, and then getting excited about said thing. And then kind of reintroducing something to them, or introducing some brand new game to them as well. Because there's a lot of awesome stuff out there. DDLC has all these incredible things in it, and like getting people reinvested, getting people saying, wow, I didn't know that, I want to look more things up, or getting people really excited to develop their own mod, like Mark wants to do, as well as develop their own game when it comes to like a visual novel style, psychological horror, whatever it is, based off of this, I think is incredible. And that is what I am very excited about doing. So yeah, that's really cool. So next, what we're going to kind of talk about after we kind of gone over all that is basically the future of the Doki Cast, which we've kind of talked a bit here and there about it. Like we've talked about bringing people up, we've talked about certain segments, but now we're going to kind of really kind of jump into it and really kind of say what exactly we want to do. And so I'm going to kind of like once again hand it off to each of it and say like what you like, what you really want to do with this podcast when it says, hey, this is what we'll do on an episode. We're gonna like, deep dive, talk about the metaverse or talking about these characters. Like let's really focus a little bit more on that and get people excited about what they can expect in the future. So Mason, once again, the mic is yours. When it comes to the future of this podcast and whatnot, like what episodes are you really wanting to do? What are you really wanting to dive into and explore more? Let me know.
So obviously we got stuff like the Easter eggs, like character analysis. Something I'm really excited to talk about on here is a lot of the stuff in Act 3, not even just Act 3. I think it's really interesting how the game kind of, I don't want to say evolved, but just changed since like day one, original DDLC to DDLC Plus, even on like PS4, because there's been a lot of changes, not just better graphics and on Steam, but like things actually got changed or censored, like a lot of things in Act 3, like with Monica's depression speech. Obviously they had to censor some of like the violence because PlayStation hates anime games for some reason. It's like every single one for some reason. Also
why the fuck would they do that?
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's weird. Even Nintendo didn't like. Spoiler alert, but one of the things that's crazy with censors is they censor Yuri's blood in the one scene to black. Black blood, and even Nintendo didn't do that. Like,
Nintendo's
what?
a kid's console.
I know. I have it for Nintendo, and I'm like, what's going on?
Do it right. The splash effects are like all sparkly or whatever. It looks so bad.
It's ink, guys. She that pin she did stuff with, which were I'm just use your imaginations. It's just all the ink ended up leaking and replacing your blood. That's
She's okay.
That's canon.
Almost
yeah, it's canon. Anyways, continue, Mason.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I just think like seeing that stuff is pretty interesting, and something that I'd like to do at some point on here. I guess it's really up to all of us since this is a bit like not strictly Doki Doki Literature Club lore, but honestly just playing other games and like reacting to it all together. Like some person plays it and like over a Discord call or something. I know on this software, I've never used it myself, but I know Mark knows a lot about it. You can actually have like gameplay on one side and then have all of our faces on the other side. I think it'd be so cool to have someone play the game and we just all react to it. Like I've seen YouTubers specifically, I think they're called Mind Pulp, but like two guys play like bad, crappy Nintendo games, and one guy, and they just both make fun of them. It's so funny. I would think that'd be so cool to do, especially since we got the people here to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Play some of the like most, maybe not the most popular, but some of the mods of DDLC. We could play east side, even though all three of us already played it. We can still do that. I can show you guys some of the funny little Easter eggs that I found in that. And you guys could, vice versa, you guys could too. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah.
Mark, what about you, man? What episode are you looking most forward to when it comes to this podcast?
Oh, well, until 15-20 minutes ago, it was something different. But now, but then you brought up the MC episode, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to do that because nobody takes him seriously. Everybody either says he's underrated but doesn't elaborate, or says he's the worst dickhead ever, or just says he's not a character, which in a way, yes, but in another way, in the universe, yes, he is. So I don't know. I don't know. Again, we'll get there when we get there, but
That's true.
that's a fun episode.
Look, that could be a great episode because we could mix a bunch of things. We could debate it. We could review Juicebox's video on the MC, which came out last year. We're in 2026 right now. We could do all those fun things. That will be a fun episode.
Really great. What about you, Tanner?
I think I'm excited for a lot of things. I really am. I think the debates are going to be really fun. I think having us just talking back and forth between the three of us or bringing somebody else in who's very passionate about certain aspects is just going to be really fun because obviously it's going to be all lighthearted. Nothing like we're going to beat each other up over it. Just fun little back and forth. Like one of my I thought I had on a video before, which I never really did, was the whole Monica is evil versus she's not evil thing. I think that would be very fun because people get really into it, and I really want to see the stuff like that and have the comment section getting really involved, our Discord, which by the way, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, getting really involved and talking about these things and bringing up good points that we might not think of. But of course, as an Easter egg guy, as a secrets guy, I'm same with y'all. I'm hyped for all of those because, like, you know, that's one of my favorite aspects in any horror game, finding those little Easter eggs, those special little secret things, and talking about it. In fact, I did a whole video on this, and this is one I really want to talk about in more detail later. There was actually an unused message from Dan Salvato in DDLC Plus's game files that was meant for the production staff of DDLC Plus. And it's a really cool thing. It was found by this guy named Beta. That's his Discord profile name, at least. He found it and he showed it to me, and it's so cool. But those little things, showing it to y'all, showing it to everybody else, and kind of just diving into that, I think it's gonna be really fun. And honestly, just hanging out and having fun, like you said, playing stuff, being silly, like just having a good time. That's what I am the most excited about. That's for sure.
The other thing that I'm excited about, I guess, I couldn't think of it, is tier lists. We could do so many of those. We can do a tier list of the merch. We could do a tier list of all the different days, or a very short tier list of the 5 characters or 6 if you don't count Natsuki's dad.
You got Amy too, but she likes spiders, and spiders are gross. So
exactly, you also got Amy. Yeah, like things like that. We could do an entire podcast of just us talking about the poems and ranking the poems, and I can't wait for stuff like that because the poems are great. I love the poems. I'm gonna be a poem guy, and I love them. So.
You write your own poem, man. We could all write up. We look, just you know what? Let's really test the boundaries of everything in our creative skill sets. All write poems in the different styles of the Dokis, and it's just for me personally, see how absolutely horrible it is because I'm not a poem writer. I'm not saying we actually should do that, but that would be a funny meme episode at least.
That would be great. I would love to do that. Yeah.
I call Natsuki's because that's probably the easiest one that I'm just saying now. Awesome, guys.
I call Sayori's.
Not Monica. Not doing her.
I don't know if I avoid Monica.
Yeah,
I Yuri than Monica.
I can do Yuri because Yuri is very sophisticated. You know, and I could do that.
Point.
Oh, you know what? One thing I'm excited about too. I want to bring light that I feel like doesn't get talked about a whole lot, except within its own circle, is DDLC cosplayers. So there's actually a pretty cool DDLC cosplay community. It's mostly on like Instagram, and if you can find a little bit on Reddit. But I stumbled across it last year, and there's some really good cosplays. I'll drop some to y'all. Maybe we could drop a couple in the actual video we edited. But speaking of Yuri's poem, there was actually a cosplay done of the one of her poems with the what was it, the ghost under the light. It was actually a really clever and unique little thing, and it was really great. But I want to bring to light, just bring the spotlight to more of these communities that don't always see it. Because yeah, we see, like, you know, us who hang out on YouTube, we see the YouTubers, even like the like, you know, people who make all this stuff. But I want to bring more light to the YouTube mod makers, the ones who make mods that can be watched on YouTube, like the ones who make playable mods, the ones who do really cool art, the ones who do really good voice acting and animations and music videos and cosplaying. Really just kind of help bring all these communities together, because you know what, we gotta stick together, gotta be strong, guys.
Yep. We Dokis gotta stick together because we're all Dokis. We're all Dokis around
Doki
here.
dudes. That's right.
We're
Yeah.
Doki dudes.
Well, awesome. Well, that's all the questions I had that I wanted to bring up for this first kind of episode. What is, like, before we jump towards the outro, before we do anything else, what about y'all? Is there anything that's on your mind you want to talk about that has to do with the podcast? Any questions you want to ask to kind of get to know each other a little bit more? Even questions we can ask the audience who's watching us right now. Anything like that? Anything from y'all?
Something I do got for the audience. I'm sure you've heard quite a few of our ideas on like episodes that we would like to talk about. I want you to go down in the comments and let us know which one is your favorite, which one you're the most hyped for. We'll be reading these because I personally am pretty curious what the community wants to see, because there's tons of great DDLC YouTube videos, like deep dives and all sorts of stuff. Like we brought up Juicebox.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's made a lot of character analysis videos, and yeah, I really like the idea of talking about like the MC and the debate videos. But I want to know from the audience as well, like, what do you really want to see? Yeah, just comment down below.
Yeah.
I have one thing. So this is a funny story. I'm not going to name him, but one of my co-hosts from one of my other podcasts really hates this game.
Oh no.
And he got all the way up to the end of Act 1 where the thing happened. The whole time just sitting there, he had to, like 3 or 4 streams of him just sitting there being like, when is the death? When is the death? Because he was told there was death or whatever. And he has like this 9-minute compilation of him just being like, oh my god, it's so boring. And he says it like a billion times. And I'm wondering, because he never finished the game. He never got to the good stuff. Once it started, he was already out. Funnily enough. Would you guys, in the comments, let us know, would you guys want us to react to things like that where we as, Doki fans defend the game against criticism, maybe? In a nice, wholesome way? Or kind of EFAP it? If you guys don't know what EFAP is, it's every frame with pros. They react to videos and they trash talk them. I guess we can be a bit nicer than that, but still, that's an idea. What do you guys think in the comments? And what do you two think?
I already gave my answer. That's a great idea.
I think
We gotta defend the game.
Look, complete twist of the century. We bring on a DDLC hater. And I don't know. We gotta make sure that they're a good DDLC hater. Like, not get too intense, but that would be kind of an interesting at least.
I can request that he could come on if he can keep himself PG-13 rated. Yes, I'll try. Maybe in the future. Yes.
I think it'd be fun. In fact, I know YouTube's weird about links. In fact, if you have videos you want us to react to, or art or anything, once again, join the Discord and slap it in there, and you can send it, or you could even just email. Like I said, you could. One of us, I think a lot of us have emails on our channels. You could slap and say, "Hey, react to this." That as well. If you don't want to join the Discord, I only say that because I know YouTube's a little funky, and you could just type out the title. I'm sure we'd find it, but easier to find that way. But that I like that. Cool. Anything else, gentlemen, that you want to bring up?
No, not on my mind.
Well, Sayori says hi. I just got her the other day.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I didn't get that one.
Yeah, it's actually a KO. I got it for $20.
Wow.
I'm surprised that it even holds together. So,
look, at least you got something. One of these days, I'll have something. One of these days, you're gonna see a poster on my half cushioned wall in the back, and it's gonna be great. Probably not a poster, something. Maybe a picture.
Cool.
I don't know. Anyways, guys, that was. I hope y'all enjoyed the first episode of the Doki Cast, Doki Doki Literature Cast. We have a lot of cool stuff planned. We're going to start diving deep next episode into the actual aspects of the story, the characters, things like that, and really start picking it apart and discussing it. And like I said earlier, we want to hear from you. Let's talk in these comments. Let's talk in the Discord if you're there. Let's build this community up and really just kind of just have fun talking about this game. I know the three of us are really excited. I hope you are too. We're hoping to get this podcast going and having a whole bunch of people enjoying it. In fact, I almost set a goal. If we can hit 10,000 subscribers in a week, I'll dress up like Sayori.
10,000 in a week. Oh my god!
Like from this being uploaded, or
yeah,
right
from this
now?
being uploaded, from not right now. Look. I'm saying 10,000 because I don't think it's gonna happen in a week.
I'm
But
gonna push it.
look, if you want to be real mean, I could say from like this moment on. That's just real mean. No, from it's uploaded. Look, I'll give y'all a chance. If you want to see me wearing a wig and whatever the heck that school uniform. I mean, you really want to on top. That'd be real.
Let's make it a bit more possible and make it 5,000.
5,000, 5,025.
Okay.
There we go. Tell you what, if you can do that, I'll do my best to. We'll be for Halloween, or like a Halloween episode. I'll dress up like. I guess it doesn't have to be Sayori. It could be any of the Dokis, whichever's easiest.
Dress up as MC because you're a guy.
Do that. I could do MC. That's the
We can all
joke,
do
though.
MC.
Sayori would be more embarrassing, so that'd encourage people to do it.
Yeah.
I actually have. Look, I have because I have like a VTubing avatar where it's just like a Doki. If I was going to do the MC, I just do that. That'd be a troll.
That's right.
That'd be a troll.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. This is episode 1 of the Doki Casts. We're signing off, and we'll see you with episode 2 in the very near future. Bye, guys.
Have a Doki day.